In secretly recorded audio, President Trump's sister says he has no principles and you can't trust him. All he wants to do is appeal to his base, Barry said in a conversation secretly recorded by her niece, Mary L. Trump. He has no principles. None. None. And his base, I mean, my God, if you were a religious person, you want to help people, not do this. Barry, 83, was aghast at how her 74-year-old brother operated as president. His goddamn tweet and lying, oh my God, she said, I'm talking too freely, but you know. The change of stories. The lack of preparation. The lying. Holy shit. Lamenting what they're doing with kids at the border, she guessed her brother hasn't read my immigration opinions in court cases. In one case, she berated a judge for failing to treat an asylum applicant respectfully. What has he read? Mary Trump asked her aunt. No. He doesn't read, Barry responded. He has no principles. None. None. And his base, I mean, my God, if you were a religious person, you want to help people, not do this. Barry, 83, was aghast at how her 74-year-old brother operated as president. His goddamn tweet and lying, oh my God, she said, I'm talking too freely, but you know. The change of stories. The lack of preparation. The lying. Holy shit. Later in the story. I don't watch much television at all, Barry said. What do you do? President Trump asked. I read, Barry replied. What do you read? The president said. Books, Barry said. The president was incredulous. You don't watch Fox? Then Barry dropped what Mary considered a bombshell. He went to Fordham for 1 year / actually 2 years / and then he got into University of Pennsylvania because he had somebody take the exams. No way. Mary responded. He had somebody take his entrance exams. SATs or whatever. That's what I believe, Barry said. I even remember the name. That person was Joe Shapiro, Barry said. Fucking oof. I genuinely and sincerely believe that if Jesus himself came back to earth and denounced Trump, 99% of his followers would side with Trump. Mary questioned Barry about what Donald had accomplished on his own. I don't know, Barry said. Nothing, Mary responded. Well, he has 5 bankruptcies, Barry said. Donald Trump's companies filed for 6 corporate bankruptcies, but he has never declared personal bankruptcy. Good point. He did accomplish those all by himself, Mary said. Someone call a doctor, grinning, squinting face. He was a brat. I did his homework for him. I drove him around New York City to try to get him into college. He went to Fordham. And then he got into University of Pennsylvania because he had somebody take the exams. Everything he says is projection. He's an empty man. Just an endless black maw of neediness and spite. Has anyone in Trump's orbit, not currently in his good graces, ever said something positive about him? They either talk shit after leaving, talk shit as an anonymous source, or talk shit without being on the record. Let's take these people's word for it. Trump's a moron. Trump's family, he's a criminal. Trump's former employees, he's a criminal. Trump, I'm a criminal. Evidence, Trump is a criminal. U.S. courts, I don't know what to do. LMAO, woman shrugging, light skin tone. His sister has harshly criticized and denounced him. His lawyer, virtually every Congress member of the GOP at some point. Fox News. His own agencies. His own intelligence. His own military. He has the highest turnover of any admin, and they have almost all sharply criticized him on their way out. It just goes to show that Republicans could have elected a moldy can of beans that could sign bills and spew division, and it would somehow have 40% support. This stuff is almost comical at this point. By now, most everyone should know what a lying, incompetent, corrupt, criminal creep chump is. But there are still a non-insignificant number of Americans who will vote to re-elect him anyway. Trump will now deny ever knowing this supposed sister. Trump, did you watch Fox News? No. Why not? I don't watch much television at all. What do you do? The president asked. I read, Barry replied. What do you read? The president said. Books, Barry said. You don't watch Fox. Jesus Christ, how did this clown trick so many Americans? The article says there are 15 hours of recorded conversation. These are going to make for some amazing ads. Guessing the Lincoln Project is on it already. Marianne Trump Barry was serving as a federal judge when she heard her brother, President Trump, suggest on Fox News, maybe I'll have to put her at the border amid a wave of refugees entering the United States. At the time, children were being separated from their parents and put in cramped quarters while court hearings dragged on. All he wants to do is appeal to his base, Barry said in a conversation secretly recorded by her niece, Mary L. Trump. He has no principles. None. None. And his base, I mean, my God, if you were a religious person, you want to help people. Not do this. Barry, 83, was aghast at how her 74-year-old brother operated as president. His goddamn tweet and lying, oh my God, she said. I'm talking too freely, but you know. The change of stories. The lack of preparation. The lying. Holy shit. Lamenting what they're doing with kids at the border, she guessed her brother hasn't read my immigration opinions in court cases. In one case, she berated a judge for failing to treat an asylum applicant respectfully. What has he read? Mary Trump asked her aunt. No. He doesn't read, Barry responded. In the weeks since Mary Trump's tell-all book about her uncle has been released, she's been questioned about the source of some of the information, such as her allegation that Trump paid a friend to take his SATs to enable him to transfer into the University of Pennsylvania. Nowhere in the book does she say that she recorded conversations with her aunt. In response to a question from the Washington Post about how she knew President Trump paid someone to take the SATs, Mary Trump revealed that she had surreptitiously taped 15 hours of face-to-face conversations with Barry in 2018 and 2019. She provided the Post with previously unreleased transcripts and audio excerpts, which include exchanges that are not in her book. Barry has never spoken publicly about disagreements over with President Trump, and her extraordinarily candid comments in the recordings mark the most critical comments known to have been made about him by one of his siblings. No one else in the family except Mary Trump has publicly rebuked the president. The transcripts reveal the depths of discord between the president and his sister, illuminating a rift that began when she asked her brother for a favor in the 1980s, which Trump has frequently used to try to take credit for her success. At one point Barry said to her niece, "It's the phoniness of it all, it's the phoniness and this cruelty. Donald is cruel." More here http://archive is/nlqf. I want to say this because I think it's really important. It is not too late to change your mind on Trump. This man has a way of entrenching himself in your very soul. He becomes an aspect of your personality. He is a master at deception and has managed to amass large amounts of wealth duping some of the smartest people in the world. He has taken the lessons he has learned and tried to apply them to American citizens at large. You should not feel bad that he did to you what he has done to so many. I will not make you feel bad. And most Democrats will not make you feel bad. We will likely welcome you with open arms. He does not represent you. He plays you. He could care less about guns, religion, or abortion. Take a hard look at your life and ask yourself if it was actually materially better pre-COVID. It probably wasn't. But I can tell you whose lives were great, and most likely their wealth involves at least 3 more zeros than you. If you look at America's standing in the world compared to 4 years ago, by all objective measures it is diminished materially. We are laughed at, disrespected, and most recently, pitted. This is not the America you want, this is not the America you were promised. And most importantly, this is not the America our grandparents fought for when we were meant to be the beacon on a hill. We have fallen behind on education, human rights, influence, etc. It makes me incredibly sad. And this was definitely not all Trump, but it has worsened under him. Now is a pinnacle time in our country. We have an opportunity to move forward. We have an opportunity to care for our brothers and sisters. We have an opportunity to be that beacon on the hill for the world. We want you to be part of the new world, and we will welcome you if you envision America like we do.